I saw Tasia versus Rogue on Evo Pig casted the other day. We've been casting Tasia for the past couple of months, so it's been a couple of months since he's returned. So if you want to watch some Tasia VODs, they're on our YouTube channel. I want to say Tasia, he started competing again back in June? No. May? Like around May. Around May of this year is when Tasia started competing again. So the VODs are on our YouTube channel. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. You're saying hello. I'm saying get out of here. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go. As we are going to be settling in. So far we have our openers. We need a translator. Yeah, I mean, we can assume what is being said. I think herO said hello. Ryung said, 안녕 하세요. Leave my bases. Yeah, so from here we are going to be settling in. We do have our more standard opening here. We have a rank expand economic start out of Ryung. Meanwhile, herO going for his own standard opener as well. Again, if you're in the chat, predictions are open, so place your bets while you can. They should be closing soon. Coming into this, herO is the favorite player, but Ryung, he has been able to cause these upsets in the past. He can definitely take it to the top players in the world. Can never count Ryung out, and we'll see if he does embrace mech again. For now, add-on swap here into early Cyclone. We've seen this build before, game 1 versus Geralt. So it looks like an add-on swap into the Starport. We'll see if we go for an early Viking with tank production after the Cyclone. If that is the case, that leads into a faster third TC, that leads into mech. So we're expecting Cyclone. I think it's double Cyclone into tank into Viking, but we'll keep an eye on him. That does move out. Behind this, Twilight Council opener out of herO, going into Blink, and it's going to be in herO to confirm what's going on. Ooh, as Ryung, he's off center. Oh, good. As Ryung is slightly off center here. Unfortunate. That actually might be what the comment was about. No, it's before that. Before that. There's the first Cyclone. herO throwing down 2 gateways, so he's playing very safe. So 3 gate blink out of herO. Oh, okay. Does go for the add-on swap into Banshee play. An early Viking. Right, of course. What? Going for the early Viking was indicative of the all-in. That was game 2. Sorry, my apologies. That was game 2 of his series versus Geralt. Here, going to cloak Banshees. We're going for the tech up on the factory. If we see a third TC, I mean, then we can start talking about mech. We'll see if he goes to that third command center. Again, mech has been a thing for like the past year against Protoss and TVP. So you should be relatively familiar with what it looks like. I think we mentioned in the previous series, but like all the Terran players have been playing mech against Protoss, like, except for Bjorn. Like Bjorn is the only one that was like more adverse to that. So shout out to Bjorn. Shout out. Of course, that was mainly in the last patch with the old Cyclone. That has since been changed. That has since been fixed. Second Banshee's on the way. And we're waiting for a third CC. There it is. SV moves out. Speaking of, so is herO. Yeah, third CC is going to be on the way. herO behind this, he does have his Warp Prism, he has extra Stalkers, and we'll see if herO can break through. There's that third command center. Yeah, this does scream mech here from Ryung. We'll see if he gets the second factory. High flight rotors on the way. Does confirm. Ooh, adepts, they don't quite get in. They threaten the shade, extra warp ins. Ryung is spread thin. Yeah, he's spread thin. The first tank is going to go down, takes down the tank, takes down the bunker, and before Ryung can embrace his mech, he's going to be broken. He's going to be broken here and now. Tank is repositioning. Nice control out of herO. He blinks back, he blinks away. And here he has done it. He's doing critical damage here. Detection is available. Banshees, they get punished. Oof. Losing both Banshees. Brutal damage. And unlike against Geralt, Ryung, he isn't able to just freely get into 3 bases. Here, he's much more assertive, much more aggressive in comparison. As Ryung is contained, and Ryung, he lost 8 SCVs, he can't afford any more production. He can't afford that second factory. And the investment into high flight rotor just hasn't been worth it. It just was not worth it. Takes down the tank. herO pulls away, the observer is still in position. Gets another bunker. And throughout all this, here is just saturating. He's saturating, getting into a third base. Forge on the way for +1. Charge as well. There's that second factory. But again, this second factory in this mech was meant to be thrown down like 2 minutes ago. Like, basically, as herO pushed in is when we should have seen the second factory. But unfortunately, like the defense, the aggression did take away Ryung's attention. And Ryung, he's very delayed here getting into his production and getting to his third TC. Dives on the tank, gets 1. Yeah, tank goes down, 5 SCVs as well. CC is gonna fall. Force to pull the boys to repair. That's gonna be another 12 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. And again, Ryung, he just could not get into his mech. He tried, but tried. But he was punished early on. Blinks in, takes down the tank, takes down another Banshee. And GG. GG. Here he does overwhelm. He does take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. And with that, here he does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Ryung can recover. We'll see if he can recover here. We'll see if he can fight back. We'll see what map we load into for game number 2. Winding it back here, again, Ryung, he was attempting to rush into mech. If you remember, his build was quite greedy, going from a 1-1-1 Banshee play, committed Banshee play, into third CC, into his factories, which is why he was vulnerable, which is why there was a small window in time where he was vulnerable, where he was exposed at his natural and his main base. herO went 3-gate blink into hyper aggression, into a move out, and he was able to break Ryung before he could really embrace his build and embrace his mech and embrace his third CC. GG. GG, well played. So here he snowballs out of control, and with that, we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Here we go. Here, taking full advantage of the new observer siege changes. He was using the observer towards the end of the game. That is true in regards to siege. It was towards the end, but like by that point he had already like broken through. Like he had already like it was he had already overwhelmed Ryung, I should say. But here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. Here we go, and welcome one all to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is more of a rush map. Last game, Ryung, he telegraphed pretty hard that he was playing mech. This time, we could see some more aggressive builds and some more intense all-ins out of Ryung. That's what we're expecting, at least, here on 10,000 feet. Initially, we have the SCV moving out across the map, and we'll see if we can get the eBay block going. seeing every on siege from the other side of the base and blinking the tanks immediately. Kind of. For the first couple of tanks, they were already pre-sieged and herO dove in anyway. Again, like herO, he had the numbers advantage, he had the momentum. Once again, Ryung was very greedy last game. Like that's why he was so vulnerable. It had less to do with catching tanks on siege and more to do with the timing that herO hit and recognizing that Ryung would be vulnerable. As remember, Ryung, he rushed into a third base. He rushed into a third CC, and he was also playing mech, so like it was a bit of a later power spike for him. Meanwhile, Ryung, he does deny the expansion. He will force the unnatural natural out of herO. So a nice start for Ryung. And we're expecting Ryung to, I mean, we'll keep an eye on him. We could see a second Rax. If we see a second Rax before the starport, that would be indicative of hyper aggression and of an all-in. We should still be seeing a command center first, but then after that, we'll keep an eye on the follow-up. So our eyes are on Ryung. Oh, there it is. So it is going to be a second Rax before starport. This is going to be an all-in. I assumed it was going to be a CC, then Rax. Instead, it's straight up Rax into a third Rax, one base all in. So one base all in out of Ryung. We were expecting a two base all in, regardless, hyper aggression out of our Terran player. And the reason why this hits harder on this map on 10,000 feet, one, this is a rush map. Very short rush distance by ground, very direct attack path. On top of that, we have the exposed natural expansion here. We have the unnatural natural out of herO. Here, his base is very isolated, very exposed, so it's going to be more difficult to defend. Not saying impossible to defend, not at all, but just more difficult. There's more kind of working against herO here. When it comes to the map of choice, when it comes to the opener. Meanwhile, checking herO's vision, he just did scout. He did not see the rest of the production. For all he knows, there could be a CC here, right? There could be a command center on the high ground right here. So he does not have confirmation yet.
I am here in the shadows.
Behind this, ooh, going for blink. Bold move. We have seen a lot of players go for Stargate openers to defend in this position just because Oracles and Phoenixes, they don't really care about terrain, right? They can traverse back and forth between their bases a little bit easier here, but specifically against an all-in, I actually really like this. Against an all-in, a Stargate opener would struggle, but here with Blink, you have more micro potential, you can kite back. You could even sacrifice your base, kite away, pick away at the army, and defend your main instead. So we'll see how herO does approach this as Ryung does move out. Here we go. As Ryung does drop in. So far, nice D power here on Blink. Very nice. And also, Jesus, the Artosis Pylon. Artosis Pylon goes down. D powers everything in the main. Massive delay on Blink, and this will benefit Ryung because here it comes. Here comes the push. And Blink should be done by now. Blink should be finishing up in time for the push. But here's not ready. Here he's not ready. Blink has yet to restart. Just now restarting, so delayed. And we're getting ourselves the robo. Yeah, Ryung, he's doing it. He's snowballing out of control. He depowers the robo. He denies the immortal. Boys are being pulled. And herO, he's down to 6 stalkers. herO try to surround. Gets all the cyclone. Nice control out of Ryung. Pop pickup, saves the cyclone. Takes care of all the stalkers. And Ryung has done it. Ryung, at this point, he has done it. He takes care of what 4 stalkers go down. 3 stalkers left. Another tank has arrived. Ryung should land the Viking. There we go. Does land. Viking lands. Tank is saved once again. Mass repair on the tank. And the base falls. Yeah, the base does fall. And again, just a brutal start for herO to lose the gateways, to lose Blink, or for all of it to be delayed. Now herO's going to try to catch reinforcements. Ryung, he does take notice. He's on the high ground. Very nice movement here by Ryung. Catching out the army. Ace pushing. He's going for the kill. There's a force field. Okay. There's a sentry. There's a force field. Slows down the army. Slows down the army. Slows down Ryung. Nice tank volley. Tank has almost made it. Can the tank make it? Oh, there's Blink. Yeah, it does Blink in. Tank is unsieged. Yeah, tank was on siege, but Ryung, he sucks too much. Yeah, he has a high ground as well. He maintains the high ground, takes out the final Stalker, and with that, we have a series. GG gets called. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. Este Ryung. GG, well played. Again, these one-base all-ins hit harder on 10,000 feet because of the rush distance, because of the exposed natural expansion as well. But on top of that, so crucial that Ryung got into the main base and depowered everything. He depowered all the gateways, he depowered the Twilight Council, he delayed Blink. With that, there was less of an army because Warpins were delayed, and of course, Blink was heavily delayed as well, as herO had to wait for the second pylon to finish to repower that Twilight Council. So heavy delay on the production, heavy delay on Blink. With that, Ryung snowballs out of control. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're going to the ace match. And we'll see how this story ends. Again? Wait, what? Am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? What map was game 1? Did we load into the same map twice in the same series? Am I crazy? Hold on. I'm double checking the VOD. Okay, no, Ruby Rock. Okay. My mistake. In my mind, it was blending the two together. But spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Titus Citadel, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran tying up the series 1-1 for Team Vitality. It is Ryung. But yeah, like in my mind, even when I was casting on Ruby Rock, I was so convinced it was Titus Citadel. The minimap, I should say, color palette looks very similar. It's very similar. But yeah, my mistake. So game 1 was Ruby Rock here on Titus Citadel. Now the question becomes, does Ryung attempt to play mech again? Mech, I would say, should be a little bit stronger here than on Ruby Rock when it comes to defending early on. The rush distance by ground on Ruby Rock is a little bit shorter, so it took less time for herO to get across the map. So we'll see if Ryung does go for the CC into Factory, into Tech Lab, into Add-on Swap. So we're expecting Marine into Tech Lab, Factory, Add-on Swap here into early Cyclone. We'll see if Ryung does go for that here. If so, that would be indicative of the same build that we saw in game 1. So Marine first, Factory. We're waiting for the Tech Lab. Just building up the gas. Behind this herO going for his own standard, oh, just going for his own standard opener as well. Yep, there we go. Tech Lab is on the way. This does look like the same build. So we're expecting Tech Lab, Add-on Swap, Cyclone, into Starport, into Add-on Swap, into Cloak Banshee. If all of that lines up, then it'd be indicative of a third TC, then into mech. We'll see if he deviates. And from the side of herO, we'll see if he goes into 3-gate Blink. If he does set up 3-gate Blink Stalker, then he has the potential to punish Ryung again. And this could just be deja vu. Like, just seeing it all unfold for a second time. Oh boy. Hello. No shot is going for a third CC before Starport. No shot. Ryung, calm down. He is hyper greed at Ryung. So this is not the same build, that we saw previously. A very fast third CC out of Ryung, cutting a lot of corners here. Basically third CC before starport. So this is a different build, but it's quite greedy. And we do see herO opening up Dark Shrine. Huh. Okay. So Twilight Council not into Blink, Twilight Council into Dark Shrine, into DTs. Interesting. How does this pan out? So, couple of things. Because of the faster third CC, obviously it's going to be 3 CC into a 3-max. This is a build that Byun is very fond of. Like, Byun is very fond of this. Looks like Ryung is taking a page out of Byun's book, going into a third Rax, into Stim, into a delayed starport, into delayed map control. Yep, there it is, third Rax. So again, this is the Byun build. You do leave yourself very vulnerable because 1, you have no map control, 2, no vision, no scouting whatsoever. Ryung has no idea what's going on, but because he's getting a third CC and a third orbital, he may have extra scans. With extra scans, these DT he's muling. No, he just muled. Is that game? That might just be game. In StarCraft, there are instances here in a couple of matchups in PvP and in PvT where the game can just end. No scan. 0 scans, DTs a wardle in, there's no way to deal with this, and this can lead into an insta GG. Yeah. He does have an orbital that's on the way. Oh god. And there's just no answer. He's about to have 1 scan in the main base. This is critical damage. There's the first scan. That's all he has. Just 1. Okay, he has second. He has 1 more scan in the main. Thanks for the third CC. Again, if it wasn't for this third command center, that he would have no scan for so long. So 2 scans, he survives. That is 12 SCVs going down. Ay. That is brutal damage. And herO's rushing into the gold behind this. There is a gold base. There's a gold expansion. Now, a couple of things here. 1, the gold base is going to be really effective because of something we just mentioned. What did we speak about? When it comes to this build, the biggest weakness of this is your lack of map presence because there's no starport. There's no starport, so there's no Banshee harass. There's no drop play. There's no drop play either for Ryung. And there won't be for quite some time. So herO, his base is very safe. The gold base is insanely safe. It's a really good way to take advantage of a player that's turtling up and being greedy. So this, again, like herO, he's reacting really well to the build that he's scouting, to how Ryung is playing. Just taking advantage of how defensive Ryung is. Now, when it comes to Ryung's build, where this really hits his stride, we were talking about the downsides of this build. The upside is Ryung should have a faster third, and he should have faster 3 base economy, a faster 3rd base saturation, and he can snowball out of control with a supply lead in the mid game. That would be the case if he didn't already lose a mineral line, right? He lost half a mineral line earlier. He lost 12 SCVs. Here he will lose a bunker. More boys are being pulled. More SCVs are going down. And the economic lead that this build is meant to give him, it's not as he will bleed out too much. Yeah, 16, 17 SCVs going down. He will lose the entire mineral line. Ryung, he will barely hold on, but again, he will be crippled economically, and he falls behind. He does fall behind. This was a risky, of course, it is always a risky build by rushing into a fast third like this. The hope is to get away with it and to have a better economy, but he fails to get away with it. He fails. He is punished. He's punished for his greed, and he falls behind. From here, herO, he dives in, gets on top of the tank. Tank will go down. And he can just keep warping in Zealots. Why? Because of the gold. Remember, the gold base boosted mineral income, and minerals all you need for Zealots. So you can just keep warping in Zealots, and you can just keep pushing. Just keep rallying forward, just brute force your way into the natural. Just warp in after warp in after warp in of Zealots. Thanks to the gold. And Ryung just cannot keep up. He cannot keep up, not like this. Medevac goes down, the natural base is forfeits. And GG. Refaki. Por favor. GG gets called. And here he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. No, sorry, to the semis. The semifinals. GG, well played. Congratulations here to herO. He will claim the series. A very intense, very fun, very back and forth matchup here. We saw a different build every game. I did appreciate that. Different build every game. Game 1, Ryung attempted to go into mech. Game 2, we saw Ryung go for a 1 base all in. And game 3, Ryung, he did go for a 3 CC, 3 racks which again got scouted, got punished, or didn't even get scouted initially. The DTs, it was just a really nice gamble out of herO. DTs, they popped off, they provided some scouting information, allowed herO to take the gold, and just snowball out of control. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. With that, let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed.